30 Americans from those organizations went to those 4 countries to do mentoring, to do trainings, things like that. And so and what we want to do, Marian, is maintain and strengthen those connections with the idea of, again, continuing the learning that's going on and sharing, but also with an eye sort of longer term about, could we, longer term, be working on some common issues? And what I mean is, on one hand, getting a new park or a new local footbridge, that can be solved at a local level, local city council, or maybe even national. But some of the issues that we're encountering now are international in scope, like this whole Rosia Montana theme. Are you aware of that? And
yeah.
That's a Canadian-based multinational, and I was very inspired by that work and that was going on in those street protests that started happening in September. At the end of September, I sent an email to about 150 colleagues in my database, many of whom were Americans, saying, here's what's going on. Would you be willing to sign an online petition in support of this? Well, lo and behold, I get 2 emails back, one from old colleagues that I used to work with in Duluth, Minnesota, and another one in the Dakotas, and they said, Paul, we've got Canadian multinational mining companies coming into our state, not gold mining, but other very unsafe mining practices. And it just hit me, wow, these companies are organized multinationally, but the citizens aren't. So those are the 3 reasons for my visit. And again, boy, any thoughts, reflection? Oh, well, and here's my last comment, and that is, I feel like I'm trying to lay groundwork so that when my European colleagues come, they've got, again, people to meet with. So in May, for sure, my Polish colleague, Dagmara Kubik, will be coming to the United States in May of this year. And again, in Detroit, I met over 24 Polish Americans who were very interested and said, Paul, when she comes, we want to host her, we want to show her the communities, and we'll help fundraise too. The same thing is happening here, and I very much anticipate that Nicoleta Chirita, my Romanian colleague in Bucharest, wants to come to the United States as well. And so I'm trying to gather names, contacts, that kind of thing, of Romanian Americans. So that's, again, really appreciative of you taking your time. Our organization is called ECON, the European Community Organizing Network.
Okay. And it's based in Europe.
It's based in Europe.
And it's founded, it's...
6 years old.
Right.
It was founded by a group of people who were getting excited from these different countries in organizing as a strong strategy, effective strategy of citizen participation. I have been employed, Marian, by the German Protestant Church's Teaching Academy based in Berlin, although I don't live in Berlin.
Okay.
And they have been very supportive of the work that I've been doing, working with groups in Germany, but also in Central and Eastern Europe. Other members of our, we have a coordinating team, and for example, Dagmara's employer is a group called Bonafides that does citizen participation work in Katowice, Poland. Dagmara started using organizing strategies in one neighborhood. It's now expanded to 3 more neighborhoods. So it's a program of Bonafides, and she has a longer-term vision of expanding this work into the whole Silesian area of southwestern Poland. Nicoleta Chirita works with a group called CERE, which I always forget the exact thing it stands for, but it's something like the Center for Citizen Participation in Bucharest. And they do many activities, but again, community organizing now in 4 neighborhoods in Bucharest is a ongoing program of this CERE organization.
So you're just, you don't have like a branch or anything like that, you're just partnershipping with the one that's already in Bucharest.
That's exactly
Okay.
right.
Do you have other cities in Romania or just Bucharest right now?
At the moment, just
Just
Bucharest.
Bucharest. Okay.
But we are certainly open to and would like to expand into other
So
parts.
when you contact them in Bucharest, like what kind of involvement did you have? Like what kind of help did you give them? Just like logistic, with information what to do, or like at what level?
Very good question. I have been from Econ, from our network, I have been the ongoing consultant and trainer with the Bucharest community organizing work of CERE. So I go there, Marian, I would say in the past year I was there 6 or 7 times. One reason is that 2 other NGOs in Bucharest heard about organizing, heard about me, and invited me to do trainings with them. And then while I was there, I would stay a couple of extra days and do trainings with my colleagues in these neighborhoods. So provide ongoing training, consulting, and then when we have a once-a-year annual meeting of our network, and usually 30 to 40, 45 people come. We always do a training piece during the 4-day meeting, usually a 2-day training piece.
What kind of training do you do? Like what's lacking over there? I'm trying to figure out what.
Yes, good question.
I mean, I have an idea about you, but you working with them and knowing them, it's
Yes.
probably much better.
The training sort of follows what I told you about organizing being a 4-step process, and that is the first step I say is listening, finding out what do people want. Well, in the American community organizing world, which is about 70 or 80 years old, there have developed some very good training materials on all of these themes. So we've done trainings on how do you do effective face-to-face visits with other people to find out what are their concerns, what are their visions, but also to build relationships of trust and respect. Another set of training, and how do you then do a set of visits in a systematic listening process that might take 8 weeks and then culminate with inviting those people to democratically select issues. And then the next training, or another training, is how do you effectively research to find potential solutions? Well, part of it is we need to figure out who's responsible within the governmental systems for the problem and concern we have, and how do we find potential solutions? That